Okay.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos from Huntington. It was a fairly sunny day outside, a little humid, but there was some breeze today, but no rain. So there was no rain today. And it is Friday evening. Once again, we are gathered for Shabbat. Time to relax, let the week go, put away the cares of the week. And as with every Shabbat, we're going to begin with the blessing of the candles on page 2. And we have Sam here. And page 2 in your Sidurim.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, but by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahalik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you, Sam. And we're going to continue on page 6. Let's read responsively. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive
thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block for young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
All right, let's turn to page 20, Lecha Dodi, brought to us from the mystics of Sfat, who, as the sun would be setting in the hills of the Galil, would run out in their white clothes. They would dress completely in white for Shabbat, and they would sing Lecha Dodi, welcoming the Shabbos bride. Verses 1 and 2, 8 and 9 this evening. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, V'ishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, Ki mekor ha'bracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Yamin u'smol tifrotzi, V'et Adonai taritzi, Al yadish ben partzi, V'nismecha v'nagila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Bo'hi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha uv'sohala, Toch emunei am segula. Bo'hi chala, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Let's turn to page 22, and let's read in English a psalm, a song for Shabbat, the top paragraph. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai! How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. And in the Hebrew, Tzadika tamar yifrach, ke'erez malvanon yiskeshetuli, beveit Adonai. Bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od yenuvun b'seva, b'shenim v'ra'ananim yihiyu lehagi. Ki Ashar Adonai Tzuri Velo Avlatabo. Let's continue on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boachem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruchuni l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Now we're going to begin the Arvit service, the evening service for Shabbat. Page 145, Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yerutei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Bahagala, Uvizman kahariv v'imiru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam lo me'almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudisha brichu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'yimiru amen. We're on page 146, Baruch Hu, the formal call to evening worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Let's continue reading responsibly on page 147 at the bottom. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom.
Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures forever.
Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Top of page 148, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayinu v'orech yameinu uvahem nehege yomam v'layla v'ahavatcha tasir mimenu li'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol vavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol miotecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam V'shivtecha v'meitecha uvlektecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam liot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'hisharecha Leman tizkeruhu v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. In the middle of page 151, let's read responsively. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp, as imperfection and evil abound.
Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
We grant everyone what we claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom.
Top of page 152. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot o sefele, malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeyam lifnei Moshe, Zeili anu v'amru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. V'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo mir chazach mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Top of page 153, Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Let's read in English near the bottom of 153. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 154, it wouldn't be Shabbat without Vishamru, verses from the book of Exodus, the book of Shemot. Page 154 at the top. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We are at page 155 for the tefillah, also known as the Amidah, the standing prayer. We'll chant 155, 156, and 157 together, and then we'll continue silently through the end on 167. But we begin together on page 155. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Ha'anora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Goel Imeihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, V'chayei metim atah Rav L'hoshia, Bori atah. Mechalkei chayim b'chesed, Mechayei metim berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofech cholim. Umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato. Lishenei afar. Michamocha b'givurot. Umido melach, melech memit u'mechayed, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'chayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hametim. Let's read together in the middle of page 160. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. And let's jump to page 163, and let's read responsibly for Modim. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world, our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
All right, let's continue on 164 with Shalom Rav, and I'll ask my choir to help me out on this one. This one, I have a couple of different tunes in my head, and I can't get it straight right now.
Shalom
Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol eid v'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. And let's read responsibly in the middle. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, our eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes.
Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart.
Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivorech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. And keeping with peace, let's get to the middle of page 167, and we'll close the Amidah with Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom b'romav, uyaseh Shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. We're going to jump ahead to page 253 for the Mishaberach, the prayer for healing. If you have someone who needs special healing this Shabbat, whether it's physical, spiritual, or emotional, please keep them close to your hearts as we continue with the Mishaberach, middle of page 253. Mishaberach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. As we're continuing the vein of blessings, let's turn to page 258 and 259, prayers for our congregation, our country, and for the state of Israel. And let's read together the top of page 258. Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha biyirah na'avod. And for our country, thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry, and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. Let's continue on page 259 in the middle in Hebrew. Avinu Shabbat Tzur Yisrael v'go'alo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reishit Tzmichat Ge'ulatenu. Hagen Aleha Bi'evrat Chastecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha V'amitcha L'Rasheha Soreha V'yoetzeha, V'taknem Be'etza Tova Milfanecha, V'natata Shalom Ba'aretz, V'simchat Olam Liyoshveha, V'nomar Amen. Together, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. This week, for the Torah portion, we have a double portion. And I don't know if you've known this, but for the last few weeks, because Passover, Pesach, the second day, I'm sorry, not Pesach, Shavuot, The second day was on a Shabbat, and we had a different Torah reading for that. But in Israel, Shavuot is only one day, so they had a regular Shabbat. So for the past several weeks, we have been out of sync with the Israeli calendar. And this week, because we have Chukat and Balak, two Torah portions together this week, we finally are back in sync with Israel. So the first Torah portion this week is called Chukat, and this one is jam-packed. I know we've had a couple of parshiot where there wasn't a lot of action, but this week there's a ton of things going on. We start off with this very strange ritual called the Para Aduma, the red heifer. And it's called the chok. It's called a statute. And there are two types of commands in the Torah. There are commandments that we can figure out and make sense, and there are commandments that don't make any sense at all. No matter how hard we try, we can't figure out the reasoning for them. So, for example, a commandment that makes sense is don't murder, don't steal, love your neighbor. Those make sense. We can figure them out. Yes, you don't want to steal because that erodes the social fabric. You don't want to murder for the same reason. You want to love your neighbor because you want Sholom bayit. You want peace in where you live. And those are called mishpatim. But a chok doesn't make sense at all. So, for example, the red heifer is a chok because what you do is you take a heifer that's completely red. If it has, I think, 3 black hairs on it, it's disqualified. So they're very, very rare. As a matter of fact, we haven't found one in many, 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 many centuries. Every once in a while, you'll read in the New York Times or the New Yorker, somebody in Texas is trying to grow a red heifer so that they could start to rebuild the temple. And won't you know it? But as the red heifer gets older, it starts sprouting black hair. So it gets disqualified. So you take this red heifer, you slaughter it, you burn it, you take the ashes, mix it in water, and when you come into contact with a dead body, when a person comes into contact with a dead body, part of the ritual for becoming pure again is to have this stuff sprinkled on you. And that will make you ritually pure. However, the person who's doing the sprinkling becomes ritually impure because of what they're doing. So think about it all weekend. I promise you, you will not come up with a reason why it's this way. And so these are the kinds of commands that we just take on faith. All right. Another thing that happens in the first of the parshiot is that Miriam dies and she is buried. So one of the big three, Miriam, dies. And when she dies, the well that had been following the Israelites throughout the desert dries up. And so there's no water. And as you know, Bnei Yisrael comes and complains to Moses. And Moses gets angry at them. God tells Moses, don't worry about it. Go and speak to a rock and the water will come out. Moses gets angry at the people. He calls them rebels. He says, shall we give you water? And instead of speaking to the rock, he strikes it twice with his staff. And God calls him out and says, just for that, you and Aaron are not going to get into the promised land. So immediately after this, Aaron dies on Mount Hor, and his son Eliezer is named Kohen Gadol. He's named the high priest. And then there are several wars that Israel fights in this parsha. And then this parsha ends with the people complaining. Surprise, surprise. There's no food. And they say, why did we leave Egypt? If we're going to starve in the desert, better to have stayed in Egypt. So God sends a plague of snakes. And the snakes bite the people and the people die. The people repent. And Moses is commanded to make a copper snake and to put it on his staff. And when the people look upon that copper snake, they repent, and the plague of snakes is over. So that's this week's first parsha. Then we have Balak. And this is a great parsha, especially if you like talking donkeys, because this is the one with the talking donkey. Balak is a king, and he calls for Bilam, a well-known pagan prophet, to curse Israel. He figures he can't beat them physically, so he'll curse them. So God tells Bilam not to curse Israel because they're blessed. Bilam refuses to go back to Balak, and then Balak promises him reward with whatever he desires. And God says, okay, Bilam, go, but you can only say what I command you to say. So as Bilam is traveling, he's on a road, and there's this angel positioned in the road, and the donkey sees the angel, but Bilam doesn't. And so the donkey stops, and Bilam starts to whack the donkey to get him to move. The donkey doesn't move because he sees the angel blocking the path. The donkey leans into the side of a hill, pinning Bilam's leg, which Bilam whacks him 3 more times. And then the donkey turns to Bilam and says, hey, what are you doing? Have I ever behaved like this before? Maybe there's something going on. And then Bilam can see the angel. The angel appears before Bilam, and Bilam realizes why the donkey stopped. And then instead of cursing Israel, Bilam blesses Israel. And we all know the blessing that Bilam gives to Israel. We sing it on Shabbat morning. In some places we sing it every morning. He blesses Israel with Ma Tovu. How good are your tents, Israel? And we can't end the parsha without some sort of plague. And so at the end of the parsha, Israel is cavorting with the Moabites, and this leads them to worshiping idols. God sends a plague. Pinchas kills an Israelite man who is cohabitating with a Moabite woman. And that ends the plague, where after 24,000 people have died. So there's a lot going on in this week's double parshiot, right? But this evening, I wanted to talk about something that we've been talking about through the last couple of Shabbat mornings, about how we talk to one another. The last 4 weeks, we've had parshiot that deal with people misspeaking, speaking out of turn, calling people out publicly, saying nasty things about people. And what I want to talk about is what's called shmirat lashon. Literally means to protect your tongue. Now, a lot of us know the concept of lashon hara, right? And people will say, well, that's gossip. If you're going to say something about somebody, that is gossip. That's lashon hara. But actually, lashon hara is a subset of shmirat halashon. Shmirat halashon is the umbrella. And the Torah is very, very worried about how we speak to each other. In Parashat Bahalotecha, in Parashat Shalach, Parashat Korach, Parashat Chukat, Parashat Balak, the last 5 weeks all have threads. And in some cases, they're major stories about how we use language. And people get punished for misusing language. So when we think about the Torah, we think that there are certain laws that are restated over and over and over again so that people think that that's all the Torah talks about, right? So the prohibition against eating pork for Jews shows up exactly 2 times in the Torah. That's it. But everybody knows Jews don't eat pork. It's like the whole Torah is don't eat pork, don't eat pork, don't eat pork. Here's something about the red heifer. Remember what I said about pork, right? The prohibition against being gay, exactly 2 times in the Torah. But you ask certain people, it's like the entire Torah is about not being gay, with some other stuff thrown in. So out of all the commandments, not to eat pork twice, the prohibition against homosexuality twice, The Torah teaches us about speech and how we're supposed to speak to one another dozens upon dozens upon dozens of times. And one of my teachers, Eliezer Slomovic, of blessed memory, used to say the Torah isn't a blabbermouth. Meaning if the Torah repeats something over and over and over again, it means we need to pay attention. It's not just because the Torah feels like, well, I'm going to talk about this topic, but it's not really that important, but I don't know what else I should talk about. No, speech, dozens upon dozens upon dozens of reminders, and it seems that the Torah is worried more about what comes out of our mouths than what goes in. And so the rabbis come up with 3 levels of protecting our tongue. The first one is Lashon Hara. And what that really is when you use the truth about someone to hurt them. Right? All the prohibitions about how we talk to one another all deal with us using speech to hurt another individual. So Lashon Hara isn't just gossip. It's when you take something that's true and you use it to hurt someone. And that's the least of the prohibitions. That's the least offensive of them. The second one is called rechilut. And that comes out of the Torah as being a talebearer. And what the rabbis say is that is an admixture of lies and truths about someone. So you have something that's harmful to somebody that's true, and then you add to it and make it even worse. And that's called rechilut. And then the third, which is the most egregious of all of the ways that we could talk about someone, is called motzei shem ra. And that's to bring out a bad name about someone. And that's just when you lie about the person. You don't care what the truth is. You just use lies to hurt the person. So Lashon Hara on the first level is using the truth to hurt someone. Rechilut is lying and telling the truth about someone. And then Motzei Shem Ra is just lying to hurt that person. And so what the Torah really is getting at with our speech is that words have lasting effects. And the Torah teaches us that words can hurt, but words can also heal. I mean, we know this. You turn on the TV and it's just one person saying something bad about another person, saying something bad about another person, using the truth, making it up. People don't care. But we have to stop. I'd much rather live in a world where people said nice things, like please and thank you, and that's a nice hat, Rabbi, than live in a world where all we do is try to bring each other down. God's great gift to us is the gift of speech. No other creature in God's universe has the ability to speak like human beings. And that also is part of the reason we say that we're created, B'Tselem Elohim, we're created in the image of God, because when God starts to create, God speaks. And the Lord said, Vayedaber Adonai Yehi Or. And God said, let there be light. Vayehi Or. And there was light. God speaks and things come into creation. God speaks and things happen. Same with us. We speak and we can either create a good mood for someone or a sour mood for someone. We can either raise them up or drag them down. So words affect our world. So I'm going to give you this evening an easy way to guard your tongue. Right? You have something that you're just dying to say. Put it through this litmus test. Before you speak, ask yourself, is it true? Is what I'm about to say about this person, this thing, whatever, is it true? The second thing is, you ask yourself, is it necessary? Do I have to say this? Will it make the world a better place for me to say this? And the third thing to ask, and I think this is the most important, is what I'm about to say, is it kind? And if it's not, it doesn't need to be said. If any of those are, if you say no to any of them, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If you say no to any one of them, you don't have to say it. It's not worth it. Easy way to guard your tongue. Shmirat lashon, guarding of the tongue. Shabbat shalom, everyone. All right, it's Aleinu already. My goodness. Time flies when you're enjoying the davening. Well, I'm enjoying the davening. Page 282, Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu v'chol hamonam. La'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshev yekaro b'shamayim imam u'shlinatu zo begov meromi Eloheinu enod emet malkeinu efesu lato kakatu betorato v'yadata hayom v'hashekota elevavecha Ki Adonai hu Elohim, b'shamayim imah, v'ya'aretz mitachatenu. Let's read together on page 285. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and your word of the prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. This week, our heartfelt condolences go out to Rosemary Ritter and her family on the death of Rosemary's granddaughter, Sarah Galperin, who passed away on June 27th. And we are in the Shloshim for Linda Susan Mufson Elbaum. This week, we observe the following yard sites: Sonia Weil, Evelyn Weil's relative; Victor Wormser, husband of Millie, father to Sam and Ronnie; Louis Lerner, Ike's father; Rudolph Rosenberg, John Rosenberg's father, Julian S. Silverstein, Ed and Jack Hyman's cousin, Lou Cherdow, Bruce's father, Frida Kagan, wife to Harold and mother of Scott, Drew, and Brent, Samuel Kind, Joanne Hinton's brother, Adele Booz, Izzy Booz's wife, Alice Hart's Herbert, Mari's aunt, Hal Herbert's wife, Sarah Hassel, Pauline's older cousin, Henry Mazo, related to Simon Mazo, Irving Selig, friend of Manny Berinsky, Philip Selig, relative of Manny Berinsky, Josephine Solacek, Mark's favorite aunt, Sherry's favorite in-law, Shirley Solacek, Mark's mother, Gussie Tesser, related to Herb Tesser, Grace Kaplan, Nordy's wife, Pauline's sister-in-law, Leon Seligson, Mary Lee's father, Sylvia Suplitz, Lynn's mother, Max Alfred Hassel, related to Sarah Hassel, Pauline's cousin, Eddie Hyman, Edwin and Jack Hyman's uncle, Josephine Carnes, Joanne Gellen's mother, Lake A. Brown, Edna Baker and Irving Brown's brother, Herb Kolker, husband to Betty Galpin Kolker, and father to Larry, Stephen, David, and Deborah. May their souls be bound up with the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us always, and may they all rest in peace. This Mourner's Cottage, page 294. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma tivrach hirutei v'amlik malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mubarach Le'olam V'Lomei Maya. Yit Barach V'Yish Tabach V'Yit Pahar V'Yit Roman V'Yit Naseh V'Yit Hadar V'Yit Alev V'Yit Halal Shmei Dekusha Brichu Le'elam Inko Birchata B'Shirata Tushbachata V'Nechamata Da'amiran V'Alma V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mramav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Well, friends, Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. Just a couple of quick announcements. Services tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. right here in Huntington. And then on Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. And tomorrow is the 4th of July, so I want to wish everyone in advance a happy and healthy 4th of July. Sam, do we have any other announcements? No. Yiddish choir on Wednesday. And then we're back to services next Friday for Shabbat. I want to thank my stand-in tech guru this evening, Sam, and the choir here who helped me out today. That was Judy, Sam, and James. And I want to give a special shout out to the Brooklyn crew that tunes in every Shabbat. So I want to say hello to Patty Ann, to Aaron, and to Melanie in the holy city of Brooklyn. And that's about it for this week. Hopefully the weather will stay nice and it'll cool off a little bit. Not so humid. Not so humid. When it gets humid, I can't do a thing with my hair. And it's just should we do Adon Olam tonight, or do you want Ein Kelohenu?
Whatever you want.
I can do either. Do we have a?
I love Adon Olam.
Okay, Sam loves Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'ed Nasa B'chefsa Kol Azai melech shemoni kra v'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu hoveh vehu yeh b'tifara vehu echad v'ein sheni Laham shelo lahachbira beli reshi beli tachli velo haoz vehamisra vehu eli vechai goali vitzor hevli b'eitzara vehu nisi umanosli Menat kosi biomekra biado afkid ruchi biedishan biaira vim ruchi giviati Adonai li velo ira. Shabbat shalom, everyone, and good Shabbos.